Yo, so as you can tell, I just woke up, so yeah, bedhead and all that. I want to keep the ball rolling on this topic of the evolution of la regla de ocho Santeria. In my last video, I spoke about differences. I pointed out some differences between how ocha was expressed and maintained and evolved and transformed from the 1860s to 2025 to today. And I specifically used modern AI as the topic, how it's influenced our tronos and now our soperas, and now the pilon that the santo sits on has an imprinted face. And I want to continue on this topic. I find it very, very interesting, the evolution of this religion. And the reason why I picked this particular video, I want to make it a thing. I want to pick out particular videos and give an explanation like I am right now. So, and this is in no way, shape, or form. I'm not saying I agree with this or disagree with this. I'm simply pointing out the evolution of this religion. These are glamorous displays, or I'll say expressions of Santo for our visual eye as human beings. And I don't know if this, it seems, to me at least, to be a very blatant influence from Brazilian, how do you call it, carnival, where they have very glamorous, huge pieces that the women, they wear like bikinis and they dance around and they have these huge displays of peacock feathers and it's beautiful. And another influence of this possibly is Venetian masks. The mask itself comes from Italy. And, you know, like my mother, she went to Italy, and you can go to the Halloween store. People keep masks with their rishas, Italian style, Nigerian style. My mother personally, she went to Italy and she has a tiny, I swear it's like 3 inches big, a tiny, beautiful mask that when she saw it, she fell in love with it. And she said, "This is for Oya." So that's the expression that she wanted for Oya. Beautiful. So the mask itself, I believe, is an expression, is an influence from these sorts of masks. Of course, it goes back to Nigeria, where the use of masks is used, and Oya is seen as one of the owners of the mask or associated with the mask, as well as Obanani, as well as Olokun, but more so the plain white mask. But the feathers all around it seem very much reminiscent to Brazilian carnival. Now, it's on a crown. Now, these crowns used to be very, very simple fabric crowns. Now you have crowns that will not only fit a normal little sopera, these crowns will fit a human being a head, and they will reach the ceiling, and they're bedazzled with crystals. If a person can't afford the crystals, they use the plastic lookalikes or whatever. I think this personally reminds me of the traje de santo, the traje de gala. Basically, the Yahweh comes out and presents him or herself to the people on the third day of Santo, and they have a beautiful outfit. Nowadays, we have outfits that cost between $700 to $1,000, probably more. And these outfits used to be very, very simple. There was one, unfortunately I can't cite it, but she was in an interview, this old black human lady, in an entrevista, how you say entrevista, an interview with Yo Soy Yoruba, Ricardo Ochoa, Babalao. And she said that in her day, which she seemed to be made, I think in the 1930s, every outfit for like the traje de gala, the fancy one that we all know, was a plain white outfit or plain white dress for a woman, and simply the color, let's say for Jemaya, a little extra trapito a ribbon, I guess, a fabric of blue, and that was it. So why? It was simply easier to, everybody had white clothes, and it was easier. Now, how did that evolve? Then people started adding more embellishments. That's the word. And caracoles. But those caracoles eventually turned to, let's put jewelry. Now let's add jewelry. Let's bedazzle our stuff. My mother's, and this what we had, the outfits we have today is within the last like 20 years, because my mother was made in 1991, and her santo outfit as a yawo that she was presented to the people, very simple. Does not look anything like what we have today. Now we have very, very bedazzled outfits that, batalases that look like popes. That's how mine look like as well. My friggin' hat was like, I look like a pope. And that seems to be the style now. To make batalases look like popes, and even, yamayases, everybody's hat are so tall. It used to be a small fabric on the head just to represent a crown. But yeah, so the crown. But this particular video, I always go on these rants, so I hope that somebody out here appreciates this information. But specifically, the crown, that's another innovation of evolution. In the beginning, there was no crowns. Later on, then you can see pictures from the 1950s. So people that was, I guess, maybe made in the 1930s, they have crowns, but the crowns were made out of iron, and the designs were, it was heavy, and you can definitely tell. I'm gonna do a video on tools because I'm looking for damn tools, especially Orisha Oko. We'll see. And they had crowns. Now you have these crowns that touch the ceiling. You have, if anybody's seen, shout out to Ogun Creations, and he has, it's incredible how crowns used to be just simple metal, what's that word? Not well, other than iron, lead tools, iron tools, very simple. Now you can pay $2,000 and get a crown that's made out of stainless steel and metals, and that like touches the ceiling. His work is different than what we see here. This seems to be very embellished with feathers and a mask, while his work is metal expertise. So just look at the evolution. These masks that I show you in the video, the first 5 seconds of this video, they're beautiful. Whether or not they are your personal taste is up to you. Maybe you prefer the more metal look of Ogun Creations. Maybe you prefer the more carnival look of the feathers and the flamboyantness of it, of this particular creator. How many people that simply cannot afford these kinds of things, because these really cost thousands of dollars. If you wanted to put a crown on each of your santos, you will be spending upwards of, some of these you'll probably spend like $10,000 trying to put a crown on every single one of them. And yet there are people who simply cannot afford that. And what do? They go to the dollar store. They see a little tiara. I spoke to a mayora who got 33 years of santo made. She saw a crown that was affordable. Very simple. I think she said she paid $10. It caught her eye, and she gave it to her yamaya. Completely acceptable. So I'm not trying to dictate what's acceptable and not acceptable. I'm simply saying, look at the evolution. And now it's what you can afford. And now the options are endless. A dollar store tiara, or a $2,000 just bedazzled work of art that you can have on your santo. So I want to continue to explore the evolution of La Regla de Ocha from the beginning to what exists today. AI, and now custom crowns that touch the ceiling. It's a very interesting topic. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and any other topics you want to talk about.